good dope sell itself.
Yeah. And
So
then,
that was my approach.
You know, as a musician, you got tools of a magician in your hand when you making beats. You just don't know it yet.
I learned that from Daylight.
You can program the song that every time it get a spin, it's contagious. So they got to share it by putting it in your lyrics. You can literally say that in the song and motherfuckers gonna share it. Especially if the quality match the arrogance.
Man, it kind of do, and it's like natural. I used to write, now I punch, and I master how I want to say certain stuff. I do like 15, 20 takes just to say one bar because I wanted to hit right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then that's also the purpose of stacking.
You got multiple versions in there.
When you layer that track, it makes the voice richer and more. It stands out more. Hold on 1 second.
That's deep.
Somebody in the comments asked me about tarot cards. This is my Talisman Oracle deck. This is my crystal deck. The crystal deck is actually is the it's like a collector card for a stone. They got all the crystals. Tell you the back, but you can use these in oracle readings. This is my gold deck.
I've been seeing a lot of
gold deck. This just another deck. My gold. I got a gold deck in here. This is an oracle deck. This is my gold deck. I like these bad boys. I read these. They were so potent.
man. I want to pick on something that I heard you say several times.
Mm-hmm.
You said the kids got it.
Yes.
I
You
believe it.
The youth got it, man. I can hear it in the new music that's coming out. They ain't talking about trap spot. They don't give a fuck about no trap spot. They don't care about no booty shaking. All they know is about this land. This is a training deck, tarot training deck. This is Egyptian deck.
They all work differently, like hit different aspects or whatever.
The energy is different for each deck. Look, these Trivial Pursuit cards. I know my tarot reads so out cold. I can use these cards, these regular cards from Trivial Pursuit, and I can do an oracle read from them.
From Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah. It's my universal wisdom oracle deck. Right now, I ain't got so good at them. It'd be spooky when I read them, right? I'd be shook.
You said that like last week. I seen you say that on something recently, like probably within a month time. I heard you say that you don't like messing with them like that because it was something dealing with that.
Yeah, that should be spooky accurate. Look, I can listen to a tarot reader and I can fill in the blanks of what they missing by listening to how they interpret the deck.
Only certain people could play with, like you got to have a certain ability to be able to. I ain't gonna say play with them, but to read the energy from those cards, right?
Tarot cards are training tools for clairvoyance and clairaudience. So imagine that you wanted to develop your psychic abilities. You can use the tarot deck as the training tool to feel and read the energy. Once you use them for a while, like now, I can see the tarot cards if I'm in tarot mode when I'm walking down the street. I can see the tarot cards play out in front of me.
Real time.
Mm-hmm.
That's fire.
So you know they read with regular decks too. I got a gold and silver regular deck for reading too.
So what regular deck mean?
Regular deck is a standard 52 card deck. Those are all lower arcana and court cards. There's no what they call major arcana in them. So you reading what's known as the pip cards.
Okay.
Love this deck though. Talisman Oracle.
That's your favorite one. That's top in top
I
five. That's number one.
don't know if it's number one, but I love these bad boys. I like the art design.
Ooh.
And on the back, they got like all that the feel of them because they're not made out of paper.
Yeah.
And this is an oracle deck. It's not a standard tarot deck.
I'm gonna have to look all that up.
Yeah. And a lot of decks come with a mini booklet, a guide to how to read, right? But you have to, once you get to the point where you can learn how to write your own interpretation method, that's when your skills gonna take off. That's that's when they blow up.
Life might take me to that. The universe might lead me to doing that because I did my own birth chart.
I know how to do I read runes, oracle, tarot, and I read numerology, gematria. See, numerology is the meaning of the numbers.
That's what B-Dale be doing, right?
Right. No, he be doing gematria. Gematria is the number code within any given thing. Everything on earth has a number code tied to it. No matter what we do, it's going to be numbers tied to it. All of the alphabets have numerical values. Different languages, the numerical value vary across languages. So you be able to do the gematria and know what the meaning of the numbers is, and it'll literally tell you something like direct.
For days, right? Since you on the numbers, for days, I keep catching my birthday. I keep catching 6:15. It's in the time though. It's only in the clock. Like I just randomly look up and it'd be 6:15.
Mm-hmm. That's 66. That's you rising up. 6 is man, 7 is perfected man. 66 is the man searching for his path. 666 is the man has found his path and he's looking to become a 7 now.
Wow. That's deep because I did my name too. I did my name. Kamal, it's an Arabic name. It means perfection or completeness. And it says something about it aligns with me searching for my purpose or whatever, right? Middle name Gabriel. That's what it said, God is my strength or something like that. And then it said messenger protector. Last name don't really matter because you know that came from you know where that came from.
It still matters.
Cottrell.
Cottrell is not a European name. You should look it up.
I looked it up. They didn't tell me. It didn't tell me much. I'm gonna look it up again. It didn't tell me much about Cottrell.
How you spell it?
Kittrell.
You know what? That's probably why, because your family changed the name of it. Because I mean the spelling of it. Yeah, because the name Cottrell, Cottrell.
Okay, that's the original.
Yeah. And then you got variations: Kittle, literal, Cuttrail, Buttrail, Litrail, Cattail, Cottrill. They say these are European surnames, but they're not saying what it means.
See, that's what happened with me.
Hold on. So it's taken to a settlement in Europe called the Cottrail Settlement, which is located between Preston and Garstang in the county of Lancashire. The Domesday Book of 1086 lists this place as Catrihala. Yeah, so it's a lot of ways you can look that name up, but as it's given as Catrill from Catral, the CAT is the cat, TER is the terror earth, and the AL is the EL, which is the Moors of Europe.
My artist name, I did my artist name too, which is the name that you see, which is my Facebook name, right? And it's double meaning. So I just randomly made that name one day,
What is it?
and gang God. I made that one word, gang God,
Mhm.
space coding, and I broke that got that name defined to me, and I'm like, bro, how do I keep doing this? Like
Yeah,
I keep.
I'm gonna take it a little further for you. Gang, G is the seventh letter, mean master. Ang is the avatar.
Okay.
So look at your rap name again. Chosen avatar, a god.
Man, the double meaning that I got was like a statement to the world. Gang God.
It is. Because that's a message that you want your music to carry with it. Look, my rap name is my real name, is the name that I gave myself. It's Morpheus Mysticus Magus. The name Morpheus, Morpheus, is an alchemically infused name. So if I would have stayed with the music, when you have 100,000 people saying more free us, more
Mm.
free us, right?
Mm.
And it's the whole alchemical breakdown. I had to do a post on it some years ago, but the alchemical breakdown is to free us from the dirty Moors, to free us more than we were before when they came. We want to get back to liberation. So you put the code in the name. So when the people chanting the name, they empowering you to act on their behalf to give them liberation. It
I
was
feel
it
that.
was
I respect that.
it made me when I was getting the name together, what made it so what made me do it that way is I was learning the power of sigils, and I was learning the power of mass groups of people channeling the energy frequency. So while I was doing that, and I was like, yeah. So if I do, because I got skills.
Hmm.
So
I could believe it.
while I was sitting there putting my skills together, and I was trying to come up with a name, I said, I want something that if I could get thousands of people say it, it'd be tied to our liberation, right? And that's what made me pick the name Morpheus.
Something else. I forgot what I was about to say. It might come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
dang, I don't be wanting to cut you off because I be needing that. Like this whole conversation, I needed that, man. That just turned me up. I'm probably about to get up and make some music in a minute when we get off here.
Yeah, sigil is code. You write an app for the brain when you writing a sigil. That's a good science to learn. And then if you once you know how to write them, you can go use old sigils been charged by elders over a prolonged period of time. You can use them and even draw from the power of the ancients that way.
Oh, you just brought it back to me when you mentioned the ancients. That's crazy. So, um, I came to the conclusion that my spirit animal is the wolf, the lone wolf.
How'd you come to that conclusion?
Okay, I told you I make beats. So, soon as my beat, soon as you push play, you're gonna hear a wolf howl. I don't know what made me like that idea, but every beat I make, that's how it start off. You're gonna hear a wolf howling and going into the beat or whatever. Um, I resonated more with it when I was presented with a selection of different animals that could have possibly been my spirit animal,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at all of them, read like the reason why they felt that was a match for me, and I'm like, well, the only one I truly resonate with is the wolf, because I already, before I had that conversation, I already was using the wolf for years in my beats, and then my mentality, like I love the idea of a pack, but for some reason, I don't know if I intimidate people. I don't know if my energy just, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't know what's the sign behind that, but friends, family, I'm isolated. Like, it wasn't by choice. Now it's becoming more by choice because I'm more wiser, and I just don't want to be around all the sleep talk and people paying attention to things that don't matter. People not caring about what they eat and their health and stuff like that. I care about this stuff because it affects you. But a lot of people, they hit me with the, oh, we gonna die anyway. Oh, you can't stop nothing. Which, you know what I'm saying?
So
So I
wait,
just,
wait, wait, pump the brakes right there. We gonna die anyway. Let's deal with that. We gonna die anyway, but that means you gotta stop living because you gonna die one day.
that'd be my point. Or stop fighting. You know what I'm saying? They content, they pacified the system, then pacified a lot of my family, for one, because I don't have not one that I could really talk to genuinely about like how we talking, or share them your videos and they really understand. I, the mindset I got right now, I feel like I can go to school for anything because I comprehend stuff. I never been like no dummy or nothing like that. I dropped out of school. I got my GED though on my own time while still being in the streets. I just woke up one morning like, you know what, let me go do this for my mama. You know what I'm saying? Went down there, passed the test, first try, flying colors. Passed every test, flying colors.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did in the county. I got my GED in the county, but I was sitting there and I was like, shit, I ain't got nothing else to do. Lady, Miss Morgan is her name. She was my Miss Freeman was her name.
Mm-hmm.
She was sitting up there and she she was asking anybody, she was first she just started handing out homework, math paper, um, English papers. She was passing them out. She was assessing the grade level. She called me up there after I did some assignments. She said, "You want to take your GED?" I said, "I ain't never thought about it." She said, "I think you can pass it." I said, "You think I can pass it?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Let me do a couple more homework assignments to get in shape for it," and I tried. She said, "That's good
Mm-hmm.
because it's gonna take about 2 weeks, and then you'll be able to go down there and take it." I went down there and took it and passed it. That's my highest education. Oh, I got a couple certificates in culinary arts and janitorial services when I was locked up. But formal education, I got a GED. I call it my guerrilla educational degree because I had to use guerrilla tactics to self-educate. They didn't know what I was doing, but I did. Mhm. Yeah.
You gotta, you gotta enlighten me on that guerrilla tactics.
Yeah. So the guerrilla tactics is the smaller force fighting the superior force need a different set of strategy and tactics as the superior force to fight the smaller force. So they resort to what's known as guerrilla warfare.
Mm.
And it's generally characterized as a small band of soldiers joining together to fight a superior force.
Okay.
My cousin said I was always smart in school anyway. Yeah, I was in special ed the whole time. Yeah,
Man, I needed
yeah,
this. I needed
yeah.
this.
Hey, I'm gonna let you drop down. I'm gonna take, I think, another caller or two, then I'm gonna call it a night.
For sure. So I appreciate you to help me with so much, man.
For sure,
Thank you.
man. I appreciate being able to help.
Respect, Chief.
For sure. I'll catch you later.
Yep.
Sydney Bailey. I wouldn't go through. James Taylor. What's going on with you, T?
You know I had to chime in right quick. What's going on? How you doing today? You all right?
Man, I'm smooth, peaceful.
Yep.
Loving my people.
Chat, how y'all doing, chat? Glad to see y'all checking out Uncle Rod, man. We're getting to feel good. Hey, Uncle Rod, I do got a question though this time.
Yes, sir.
Check this out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we about to do this on the air, right? The Neuralink thing. Do you think there's anybody in the conscious community that is Neuralink? Big question. I got smoke. I got smoke, I got smoke now.
Listen,
Did me?
I don't care. I don't care about them people in the conscious community.
I mean, I feel that. And definitely I feel that. That's why I asked that question. Because
I
got
know.
a couple I've been watching,
I'm gonna tell you
and I've been
like
looking
this.
like,
I know at least one of them is an android.
and I already know one of them you talk about. Don't worry about it. I'm on point. I already know. I look at his eyes every time I look at him. I'm like, why this nigga eyes like that, dog? It don't make sense. And he's stuck on one thing and one. You know what I'm talking about, but we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But then okay, another question, right? Have you ever heard of the Infinite Terror Map?
Yeah, that came from a fictional novel written by a Mexican author in Spanish
Nos
back in
Confunded, right? That's Nos Confunded.
mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this? The custodians and what he was talking about on it, the Giants, the Anakim.
Listen,
It's
it's
fictional.
fictional. Listen, what I'm telling you. It's a fictional.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
It's a fictional novel. One of my elders, Dr. John Henry Clark, say a statement doesn't have to be true to carry some truth in it.
That's all I needed to hear, OG. Because I'm very much aware of my discernment. My discernment is great, like off the charts. I don't know what they call it, oneromancing, or I know it ain't necromancy. I know oneromancy is like kind of seeing into the future a little bit. I've been kind of listening to a couple of y'all talk about these things, and I've been studying like Priestess Set Raw. I've been listening to her. I've been listening to a couple of y'all now in the cut, and I've been hearing y'all, and it registers with me. You know, I showed you some of my I showed you some pictures of, so I be deep out there. Now, in Kentucky, my dad was in the Army. We were in Kentucky. I thought we was in Germany, but when I relayed the event back to my dad, he was sitting on the porch. He was like, nah, nigga, we was in Kentucky. I was like, oh, you were stationed in Kentucky. You're right. Okay. But we had these Roman columns in our house, in the living room. There was a hallway to the right that led to the bedrooms and everything. There was a TV on. We were watching the movie. My mom and dad was sitting behind me. When I looked at the TV one time, it went to snow. You know that and all that white noise sound. Okay, bam, it did that. I looked back at my mom and dad. It's like they were still watching TV. I looked down in the hallway. It was I don't know if it was really a lightning storm going on or anything, but a light flashed in the hallway, and I saw a figure crouching in the hallway. But it had horns on it. It had red eyes. I looked at it, looked back at my mom and dad, like, is these niggas seeing this shit? I'm a jit now. I'm like, I gotta be at least 5, 6 years old, 7 maybe. Cause we in Kentucky. My brother was born. He's 2 years under me, so he was just born. So I take that back. I wasn't even that old. I was about like 5, 4. So I look back at my mom and dad, and I look back at the TV. It's still in snow, and I look back at the hallway. The nigga still sitting there like I ain't even bust a move yet. He's still sitting there just looking at me. I'm like, look at this nigga. I really didn't know how to take it back then, but I'm as a kid looking at this nigga down the hallway like, that motherfucker really sitting there. Now fast forward to me being in Orlando. I go to jail. I do my first like little like 6-month sentence or whatever. But I'm sitting in a room in a dorm in my room, and it's a 3-man cell. One bunk on the wall ain't got nothing underneath it. The other 2 bunks is a bunk bed. The one on the wall that didn't have a bunk under it, bro, this motherfucker in my room again. But you know how you get that feeling like something holding you down while you're awake,
Mm-hmm.
you can't breathe and shit? That nigga was doing that shit to me while I'm looking at him, but he was sitting on the other bed over there. I'm like, oh hell. So I had a whole gin in my room. Literally, I just thought about it. That's a gin, ain't it?
No, that's the gene. The interpretation of the gene is totally misinterpreted, misrepresented, based
Uh-huh.
on the doctrines and belief system of Muslims.
Oh, so I'm so tired. But go ahead though. So what was I do? What do you feel like I was looking at? Because it keep coming around me.
Yeah, it's called
And
a
I have a lot of people that walk around me and they see things standing by me. Not one thing. They see things standing by me.
yeah.
And they don't even want to come around me sometimes.
That's what you
Not on a
describing
bad
is,
thing, like on my guardian type thing. Not on a bad stuff, but like on a guardian thing.
yeah. You describing was commonly referred to as a familiar or familiar spirit. And they come to do a service on your behalf, but they can't do nothing until you give them instructions.
Understood.
And you
So
can
my mama
only
Jamaican.
you can only give them instructions when you learn how to work the magic circle. They can't hear you until you open the magic circle.
Which would be that thing, the circle with the pentagram in it. Would I have to do? Is that what you mean, or something else?
That's it. That's the pentagram of Solomon.
I know it's a pentagram, so I know it ain't nothing bad. I know they plagiarize a lot of our stuff, but I just making sure that's what you meant. I just making sure.
I learned mine from a guy named Lion Milo Duquette.
Okay, now if I do one, do I do it right side up or upside down?
You have listen. You
When
have to
my
write.
face is facing, do my face point toward the top point of the star, or do it face toward the bottom, making it a Baphomet type thing?
Listen.
When I do that,
when you first have to learn what you're doing first before you do it. Once you learn about the magic circle, how it works, how to activate the energy, you're gonna know that part.
Okay, gotcha. A lot of things I do now, I do notice listening to you. I'm gonna give some of the. I said what I said at first when I asked that question about the conscious community, but I have learned a whole fucking heap from y'all, bro. Y'all have unlocked so much shit in me, bro. Like, to the point I handle it, bro. The people be watching me handle the police and other oppressive figures, and they just be looking at me like they be thinking I'm the police. Cause I be doing them like, bro, how am I handling the police and I'm the police? That is weird, bro. I just don't play with their head because I know what's going on now. And that I ain't going for it. I'm old blood, bitch. So you know I'm tired of Mama Earth. And bitch, we ain't having that. I'm sorry for the cussing on Facebook and YouTube and all that. I hope y'all don't do nothing but dog raw about this, because I'm gonna give y'all smoke. Don't mess with him because of me. I'm just saying. But anyway,
You know, I don't believe in being politically correct when the politics is all wrong.
I know I ain't have a chance to roll up before I got on the phone with you. I didn't think I was gonna catch you. I just grabbed a black right quick. But yeah, you know, I be talking to you and I ain't never really asked you no real question like that. But I did have a good question for you. I ain't want to come on here and just be like I usually do, just be getting on your nerves a little bit. I ain't want to get on your nerves a little bit today. I came with a real question. But that first question, I've been thinking about that, and I've been trying to text you in comments and ask you that question. I texted on Young Elder before. Okay, bam. Another thing just came to my mind. Yo, I have so many questions to ask you, because a lot of the things you talking about when you was breaking down the werewolf tribe or the werewolves, and you was breaking down the vampires, I have a lot of, I don't know, have you ever what do you think about the the werewolf apocalypse folk, like Dungeons and Dragons? How real is that Dungeons and Dragons game compared to the reality of what was really going on and what entities exist that's in that game? Because a lot of those entities exist, And I'm noticing they're talking about them a lot more. And I know they come out of Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm like, y'all acting like this is just a game, though. You know?
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so if I tell you something about that game, I'll be making it up as I go.
All right. I'm gonna do it like this. The werewolf apocalypse. Remember how you were talking about the people that wore the wool?
Yeah,
Wore the pelt?
yeah.
Okay. Now,
They
could there
told the
possibly
story
have...
in Twilight, the movie Twilight.
Yeah, I heard
Oh,
you talk about that last time we talked about it.
yeah, they just changed
Okay, what about
all of the faces to pale faces, but it's the same story. Some European blood sucking niggas came over here, and the niggas that was wearing the wolf belt was
bam,
fighting.
that right there, what you just said, OG? The blood sucking vampire. Did they come from over the ice walls?
No, they came from right over there where Vlad the Impaler from. It was a Moorish stronghold. Vlad the Impaler
Okay,
wasn't a pale face. He darker than me.
I know that much. I know that much. Ooh, speaking of Vlad the Impaler, that armor he wore, that red dragon armor. Speaking of knights and those armors, were they harnessing atmospheric energy in those swords like Excalibur and stuff like that with free energy back in the day through a Tartarian and all that?
Not from the armor they was wearing, but they was harnessing free energy all the way up until that last Anunnaki war. We haven't used free energy in a couple thousand years now.
Okay,
Not globally.
so how many of our Catholic, how many of these buildings do you think they took all the free energy off these like Catholic cathedrals and all that stuff already?
They scrapped out all the copper. Greedy son of a bitches.
And then they had us goddamn going and stealing AC vents and shit, taking the copper out, bringing it to them.
Yeah, then we had a lot of them had either gold. They had gold and silver dip orbs that sit on top of the buildings. That they melted all that shit down.
Did I tell you about the time I had? Go ahead, dude.
Yeah,
What you say? What you think?
One of them orbs could have been 500 pounds easy.
Really?
In gold or silver, pure. No, none of that old 10 karat shit. We talking 24 karat gold.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. One of my homeboys, he worked at Levi's, right? He found a pendant, and it's like somebody gave him the right to go through their jewelry and get something of what he wanted. The man grabbed a pendant and showed it to me today, bro. Why I got the